This week, Governor Calvo announced that GovGuam was in a dire financial condition. His financial team announced that the government would go broke if they had to pay out all of their liabilities at once. They arrived at a figure of $116 million short if they had to pay off a bunch of unprogrammed or unbudgeted liabilities, but they never showed exactly how they arrived at their figure. Today, they released a list detailing how they arrived at the figure, but the list actually totals $126.8 million. However, Budget Chairman Senator Ben Pangilinan says the list contains items that were either already budgeted for or aren't even liabilities. Here is their breakdown of the existing and potential liabilities that are not programmed. The first on the list is the COLA judgment, which totals $23.1 million. Senator Pangilinan says he wouldn't mind if the governor chose to pay out this entire amount of COLA interest, but there is a way to pay it a little bit at a time.
If the governor is saying he's going to pay this, I'm supporting him on it. As a matter of fact, I have a bill that's sitting on his desk now that will structure this payment so we don't have to pay the entire thing in 1 year.
Next is the Guam Memorial Hospital and DOE's retirement fund contributions, listed at $11.3 million.
There is a payment plan in place that we pay interest only on this, and then when a employee wants to retire, then we have to pay that employee's contribution that's for that singular employee, and then they can retire. But there is a payment program in place for this. We don't have to pay this entire amount this fiscal year.
Then there are the merit bonuses, pegged at $1.5 million. Senator Pangilinan is not sure of what this liability refers to. Next is law enforcement, pegged at $6.3 million. Pangilinan is assuming that this is in reference to the 10% raises due to law enforcement personnel.
If he's suspending the hay, why is he going to pay the 10%?
Then there's the Calvo's Select Care health insurance plan for GovGuam employees. That will cost $13.8 million. This is one of the unprogrammed and unforeseen liabilities that Pangilinan agrees was not budgeted for and will cause a shortfall. Next is the hay pay raises for unclassified employees, pegged at $5.5 million.
So this is for the special assistants, the directors, their hay raises basically. The governor, the lieutenant governor is going to get a pay raise. That's what this is. So I guess he's going to suspend the classified service pay raise, and he's going to implement this to give himself a pay raise. Something's not right here if he's saying that this is a liability, because there is no law that authorizes this. So this is not a liability because there's no statute that authorizes the pay for the unclassified.
Then there's what's called interfund borrowings, totaling $9.6 million. Pangilinan explains this figure arrives from the money that's owed to accounts that were drained through the governor's transfer authority. These are flexible amounts that are basically up to the governor to manage, not monies that definitely have to be reimbursed within a particular fiscal year. And finally, there is the largest liability on the list, making work pay tax credits, pegged at $55.5 million. But this, according to Pangilinan, is actually a revenue and not a liability. This is money that was given to GovGuam by the federal government to pay the making work pay credits.
The funny thing is, this is actual cash. This is cash that we got from the federal government for the Make Work Pay Credit program. We hold that cash and we don't book it as revenue until we process the income tax refunds, and only a portion of that credit is now a liability of the government of Guam.